how can anyone say it's a subpar album by Pantera when it begins like this? Yeah, this is the 8th or the 4th Pantera album, depending who you ask. The Great Southern Tranquil, released in 1996. You know, maybe it's a bit more sludgy and raw than the previous few, but why should that count as a bad thing, right?
Drink the water some more. Try to live through this night.
At least one track from it is known and beloved by everyone I know. It's Floods. It's a very unique one, something Pantera never did before and after, and just the outro alone will be regarded in the future alongside the guys like Mozart. But as much as I'd love to talk about Floods and go through the entire album, we are here today for one specific song. The one that often goes under the radar, and ironically this is the one the album bears the name of. And this is the one you heard in the beginning of this video. This one is for sure the most powerful album opener of Pantera. This is a freaking statement. We are increasing the stakes, something they had been doing ever since Phil joined the band. Just comprehend, they went from this to this. And after the statement is made, they proceed to the good old groove with a little flashback to the intro, and eventually they break down into the classic Pantera blues metal. So it's like the whole Pantera package and even more in just 3 minutes, so why the hell are you complaining? But despite that, not only was it not released as a single, but the band got to perform it only 7 times, which is as many times they did Sick and Destroy. And here's Phil Anselmo suggesting why.
Great Southern Tranquil, never played it live, I don't think. And if we did, it didn't last long because, man, I oversang that song. We're nurturing the same old trend. If I've adopted the best thing, it passes the down of the tonic without even asking. Fuck your magazine. Couldn't do it.
And speaking about Philip, you know, everyone did such a great job in this track, and like always, but it's him who made the final touch to the song with that polyrhythm in the chorus.
It's polymeter, you dumbass.
This little nuance is what gave the song that hook that stays in your mind, that plays in your head over and over, and consider that this bit was probably added at the very end of production, because Dimebag, Vinnie and Rex did the instrumentals in Texas and then sent the stuff over to Phil Anselmo, who was then in the New Orleans, where he did his parts. Considering the state he must have been in back then, I'm talking about the physical state, not the geographical, it was Louisiana. He really outdid himself, both lyrically, vocally, and compositionally, contributing actual musical elements, parts of arrangement with his mouth, such as that polyrhythm in the chorus.
I'm gonna kick your dumb ass.
So as I was finishing editing the video, my gut told me something was wrong. I might have done messed up in something, and I done messed up about the chorus of Tranquil. So basically the previous section was kind of semi-bullshit. I apologize for wasting your time but throwing it out would be such a waste. At least it was entertaining, yeah? So yeah, it's not Philip who made it so working, so hooky, but it's Vinnie Paul. It's his crazy drum beat, which was in 4/4, which ran over the riff. What a goddamn heavy riff, based on slides actually, if you listen closely, because the vocals kind of distracted. Which is in 3/4 or 6/4, depending how you count. So it's technically still polymeter, no, 3/4, 6/4. There's still something of the push and pull effect, that syncopation, which comes from the drums. That's not the first time Vinnie did something of that. So remember, for example, the song called Primal Concrete Sledge. It was his drumming that made it so actually ahead of the time. But we're here about another song. Again, it was the magic of the interconnection of Pantera, all the four members, all the four parts that made it so punchy, so tight, like one solid piece of freaking metal. And yeah, we forgot about another part, we're fixing it now.
But the whole deal about this video was actually initiated by another integral part of Pantera, it's the bass, by Mr. Rex Brown. His contribution to Pantera is so underappreciated, and partially that's because he often just copied Dimebag's guitar, and not because he was lazy or uncreative or anything, but Dimebag wanted so.
He always wanted me to play identical to what he was doing.
And they needed something to compensate for the lack of another guitarist, and so the trademark fullness and tightness of Pantera's sound owes a lot to Rex Brown basically doubling the riffs where it's needed. And the song in question, Tranquil, features one of the best examples of that. Rex followed down there not just note for note, but also band for band and vibrato for vibrato. That takes a skill. And because that's bass, his fingers took even more. However, that doesn't mean that all Rex Brown did was mirroring the guitars. Remember, he also got drums to follow. And where there's room in the song, he could do something on his own. His trademark bluesy feels, at times bordering bass solo. The best example being, of course, Floods from the very album. And that will also happen at the very end of Tranquil. You cannot really enjoy that in full in the mix, for the song is fading out. Literally the opposite how it begins, yeah? But fortunately, we've got the isolated track. And if that intrigued you, you can check out the entire original isolated bass track from Tranquil with the tabs I made by the link in description. And yeah, more Pantera bass tabs and these little, breakdowns, if you dig them, which are actually a byproduct of when I do the bass tabs first, and that inspires me to talk about these songs. And plus Metallica, of course, and other bands, but it's Metallica and Pantera, my two favorite bands, who I'm gonna do entirely, revealing the bass secrets and paying tribute to the awesome bassists. And if you relate to it, you subscribe to this channel and other channels where I'm gonna do that. And if you like this video and want to support it, you can donate on Patreon, Buy Me Coffee, all the links in description. So yeah, see you next time, friends.